Namaskaram everyone, welcome back to Yoga with Andy. I know it's been a long time flies. Well, I've been practicing a lot of yoga. I've made some small improvements, and so now that it's getting towards winter, I thought I would share with you some tips on what you can do to enjoy your practice. Now, as you see behind me, there is a nice fire going, but of course first thing when you wake up, it's not like this. So today I want to show you what you can do to help warm up in the morning so that you don't get injuries and that you can build up some energy in the spine. Now, of course, some of you don't live in Europe, some of you live in the warmer parts of the world, so for you I also have some tips for you. Okay, so I mentioned earlier on that first thing in the mornings it's really not practical or even possible to get, say, the wooden fireplace going because it takes like 1 or 2 hours to get warm. So what I have is a infrared panel heater. This one here is something like 300 watts. So if you use it for, say, 20 minutes a day just to warm up, it only costs about maybe 10 cents. Right? So if you get something like this, you can also use it in, say, the bathroom or study. And because it's on legs, the legs are separate, you can move it to any room you want. Okay, this particular one here is really just a cheap one. Well, when I say cheap, it's about 120 euros. But these are not made in Europe, they're made in China. If you want the really good quality ones, we have quite a few around the house. I might show you later on. They're made in Germany, and it's by a company called Welltherm. I'll give you a link below, and they are really good, but they cost 500, 600, 700 euros. So for the bathroom, for example, and just maybe to warm up your legs in the study, something like this is great. So what you do is you switch it on and you just spend 10-20 minutes with your back to it, warming up. Of course, those of you who do Shambhavi, you know that you sit like this. Oh no, you start with the butterfly, warm your back up, activate the spine, and so this is fantastic for 10-15 minutes when you're warming up. Alright? And after that you can just switch it off and then do your usual practice. And then when you finish and you sit in Ardha Siddhasana, you can switch it back on as well. You can of course also switch it on if you're doing Shambhavi for 21 minutes. So it's not very expensive if you're just doing for, say, half an hour a day. And it makes a big difference to your spine. So afterwards, if you're doing the forward bends, once the spine warms up, it's much easier to do, and it's very enjoyable. And of course, infrared means that it's like heat from the sun. So it's fantastic for the body because the body does need something equivalent to the sun every day. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing a t-shirt, but this t-shirt is fairly tight fitting, but it's not so tight. What it is that it's made from wool. And I find that with wool, you can buy sizes that are fairly tight, but because they are firmly onto your body, when you're doing your asanas, they don't sort of fold over and get in your way. Alright? So whether you are living in the warmer parts of the world or in Europe in winter, I really recommend that you think about getting woolen t-shirts rather than cotton ones. Now, of course, in winter here it's is a lot cooler, so I would suggest that you also have long sleeves. All right, but if you are from the warmer parts of the world, a nice t-shirt that's made of wool is great. So for example, if you're in Europe, I have a woolen long sleeve shirt, and as you see it's fairly tight. They are tight and firm around the arms. You get a V neck rather than the standard one, the normal ones. And the problem with the normal ones is that when you do your asanas, they tend to hang a little bit and they get in your way. But with this one here, it doesn't matter how I move, it stays firm and it doesn't come over my face. Alright? So you can get them for, I don't know, 20 euros, most sports shops. And wool, it just feels really nice. Very nice to work with in summer or in winter. But for trousers, I have linen, and I find that linen or cotton is the best. I don't recommend at all that you get the ones that are polyester. They tend to sort of get really hot and feel quite uncomfortable. Alright, so for the tops, woolen tops, very fine wool, and then linen on the bottom. So I hope that helps. I'm hoping to do a few more videos. I have some ideas, so hopefully you'll tune in, and we'll see you next time. Okay, namaskar.